So good morning friends. In the last lecture we discussed about the transport of materials, how the transport of materials takes place. Okay. Then transport of minerals, elements, and on the basis they are classified into two types, that is mobilized and non-mobilized. We are discussing about transport of water. Okay. So simple process required for the transport is simply called as osmosis. We already discussed about diffusion, osmosis, osmotic theory, then root pressure, etc. All mechanism of transpiration, types of transpiration, etc. Now two more points, that is translocation from source to sink, and one more, that is how exactly translocation occurs through the phloem, or called as a mass flow or a pressure flow hypothesis. What is mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis? Okay. Now first, translocation of materials from source to the sink region. In the previous lecture I defined you people two important definitions, that is what is source and what is sink. One more time, source is the region where synthesis of food takes place. For example, in plants, leaves are called as source because known for the synthesis production of the food. So what is source? Source is the region known for synthesis or production of food. Synthesis or production of food. In plant, leaves are called as source. Leaves are source because sites for photosynthesis. Whatever the food is prepared by plant as a result of photosynthetic activity is in the leaves. Hence, leaves are the site for photosynthetic activity. Leaves are simply called as source. In some plants, green stems are also source. For example, in case of Opuntia, you already learnt in 11th class that Opuntia is a xerophytic plant, and Opuntia requires more and more conservation of water. Hence, stem become green chlorophyllous and photosynthetic in case of Opuntia. So stem is a source. In young plants, green stem is present, that is also source. So generally, leaves are the source for the production of food as a result of photosynthetic activity. So clear, what is source? Source is the region where synthesis or production of food takes place, and leaves are the examples of source. Then what is sink? Sink is the region where food is transported. Sink is the region where food is transported. The region where food is transported is called as a sink. One more time, the region where food is transported is called as a sink, and the region where food is synthesized is called as a source. So what are sink regions? Example, sink roots, branches, other branches, sub branches, etc. So branches, sub branches, roots are the examples of sink. But please note that source and sink should be in opposite to each other. Source and sink should be in opposite direction. So what is sink? Sink is the region where food is transported. Roots are called as sink, branches are called as sink, sub branches are called as sink, flowers are called as sinks, fruits are called as sink, seeds are called as a sink, leaves are called as source. getting. Leaves are called as source because they are the site for production of food as a result of photosynthetic activity. Okay, fine. Then in case of xylem, translocation of water takes place. In the previous lecture, we discussed that xylem conducts water, means actually tracheids of xylem conducts water, and tracheids are called as xylem of the xylem. So xylem are useful for the conduction of water. What is the function of xylem? Xylem helps in the conduction of water against the gravity, that is from the roots towards the leaves. Okay, but friends, remember that xylem conducts water and the transport of water is always said to be, conduction of water is always unidirectional. Conduction of water is always unidirectional because reason is simple. Xylem originates in the roots and are transported towards the leaves. Xylem originates in the roots and they conducts water towards the leaves at a greater distance. Hence xylem conducts water and minerals. But friends, the flow of water and minerals from the xylem is said to be unidirectional. They carries water and minerals in only one direction, that is against the gravity, that is from root towards the leaves. Okay, clear. But a phloem flow is, the flow of materials from phloem is bidirectional. They may ask you a question. The flow of materials, food from the phloem is called as bidirectional. Why xylem is unidirectional and the phloem flow is bidirectional? So what is phloem? Phloem is simply called as food pipe. Xylem is called as water pipe. Phloem is called as food pipe. The flow of food through the phloem takes place in both the direction. Phloem is a food pipe. Phloem originate in the leaves and they are transported towards the roots. Okay, the function of the phloem is to carry the food from the leaves to all parts of the plant. Okay, fine. Then why the flow of phloem is called as bidirectional? Friends, in the leaves, food is synthesized. Therefore, leaves are called as source. Leaves are called as source. Okay, phloem originates in the leaves. The function of the phloem is to transport the food away from the leaves or away from the source, that is towards the sink. Okay, clear. Now, phloem transports food. Phloem transports food from the leaves towards the, for example, roots. Towards the roots. And roots are simply called as sink. Roots are called as sink because they need food for absorption of water, minerals, etc., as well as to allow the root to penetrate deep in the soil, as well as to show the increase in its girth, diameter, etc. Okay, so food from the leaves is transported towards the roots via phloem, right? Here leaves are called as source and roots are called as, in this example, roots are called as sink. Leaves are source and roots are called as, final answer, sink. Okay, so food from the leaves, that is source, is transported towards the roots, that is sink, towards downside. Okay, fine. Then root utilizes the food, or the food or energy is converted into different kinds of storage carbohydrates, okay, or the food is converted in the form of different kinds of carbohydrate. It may be starch or cellulose, etc. It may vary according to plant final. Then what happens in spring season? In spring season, now listen carefully, important. In spring season, when defoliation occurs, when a leaf fall takes place, therefore for few days the site for photosynthesis is arrested. Why the site for photosynthesis is arrested? Reason is simple, because in early spring leaf fall takes place at sorry, and when leaves fall down, therefore the source is totally affected. The site for production of food is totally affected, and due to non-availability of leaves for photosynthetic activity, it is the duty of root. Now, it is the duty of root which acts as a source. When a root acts as a source? In spring season. In spring season, root acts as a source because the defoliation takes place when the leaves falls and the entire plant is defoliated. In that case, the food is not synthesized in the leaves. Hence, whatever the food is present in the root, these roots are now called as source for the production of food, and the transport of food takes place now from roots to the young leaves, growing floral buds. So, developing buds as well as developing leaves, developing buds, growing leaves, etc. require the food which is made available from the roots towards the leaves. I will draw figure one more time. So, therefore, the flow of phloem is bidirectional. One more time, right. Xylem flow is unidirectional, phloem flow is bidirectional. Xylem water pipe, xylem conducts water from roots towards the leaves against the gravity. Phloem conducts food from leaves towards the roots. Okay, no doubt. Leaves are called as source. Here roots, this one is phloem. Xylem flow is always unidirectional. Xylem flow is unidirectional because xylem conducts water from the roots towards the leaves against the gravity. Phloem flow is bidirectional. Phloem flow is bidirectional. Okay, first the food from the phloem, the translocation of food from the phloem takes place from leaves towards the roots, because leaves are source while roots are called as sink. So, there is no doubt that the food flows from source to the sink region. Okay. But whenever spring season takes place, whenever spring or during spring, whenever spring commences or during spring season, when a leaf fall takes place, new leaves are originated, new bud formation takes place, initiation of floral organs takes place. At that time, due to non-availability of leaves or the plant when become defoliated, the leaves are now not the source because the entire plant is defoliated. That's why in this case root acts as a source. Whatever the food in spring season, root acts as In spring, root acts as a source. So in spring season, during spring, whatever the food is stored in the root, it is transported to the leaves for our young birds, floral birds, for their growth and development. Therefore, the flow of materials, translocation of food via phloem is bidirectional, that of xylem is unidirectional. The flow of water through the xylem is said to be unidirectional, and the flow of food from the phloem is called as bidirectional. One more time. Xylem वॉटर कंडक्ट करतो रूटपासून लिव्सकडं, म्हणून कधी पण झायलेम ही युनिडायरेक्शनलच असेल. रिझन सिंपल, द फंक्शन ऑफ झायलेम इज टू कंडक्ट वॉटर फ्रॉम रूट टू द लिव्स. फ्लोएम, रसवाहिनी, अन्नवाहिनी, फ्लोएम ओरिजिनेट्स इन द लिव्स and transport food towards the roots. But friends, फूड फ्लोएममध्ये लिव्समध्ये तयार झालं, लिव्सला सोर्स म्हणाल, रूटकडं से फॉर एक्झाम्पल ट्रान्सपोर्ट करायचे, रूट सिंक रिजन झालं, म्हणून फूड फ्लोएममधून ट्रान्सपोर्ट केलं जातं लिव्सपासून रूट्सकडं, मीन्स सोर्सपासून सिंककडं. ओके, वन डायरेक्शन. परंतु ज्यावेळेस वसंत ऋतू येईल, त्या वसंत ऋतूमध्ये स्प्रिंग सीझनमध्ये लीफ फॉल ज्यावेळेस होईल, पानगळ होईल, जुने लीव्ह सगळे फॉल होतील, त्यावेळेस आता फोटोसिंथेसिस करण्याची जागाच अवेलेबल नसेल. अशा केसमध्ये जे काही रूटमध्ये फूड स्टोअर केलेलं आहे ते रूट आता काय म्हणून काम करतात स्प्रिंगमध्ये, सोर्स, आणि रूटपासून फूड कुठं पास केलं जातं, लिव्सकडं. म्हणून फ्लोएममधून होणारा जो फ्लो आहे त्याला तुम्ही बायडायरेक्शनल म्हणाल. सो ट्रान्सलोकेशन ऑफ मटेरियल्स थ्रू द फ्लोएम is certainly bidirectional, that of xylem is unidirectional. Fine. Now one more point. How the mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis takes place. How pressure flow hypothesis takes place? What is mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis? Okay, or simply translocation through phloem. Translocation through phloem, phloem. What is mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis, or how the translocation of materials takes place from the phloem? Okay, right. So we discussed that phloem helps in the translocation of food in both, that is bidirectional manner. Xylem conducts water in only one direction, hence xylem is unidirectional. Fine. And then phloem helps in the transport of food, and whatever the food is synthesized in the leaves, it is poured in the companion cells of the phloem. Simple, we will draw the picture of the phloem, figure of the phloem. Phloem is the complex permanent tissue. It is complex because it is made up of different kinds of cells. Phloem is called as compound tissue. Compound tissue because it is made up of different kind of cells. That is phloem parenchyma, you already learnt in 11th class. Phloem parenchyma, living cells, phloem sclerenchyma, dead cells of phloem, sieve tubes, living cells of phloem, and companion cells are also living cells of phloem. Okay, so these are sieve tubes. Okay, what are sieve tubes? Phloem transport food means actually sieve tubes transport food. Phloem transports food means truly sieve tubes are useful in the transport of the food. Okay, sieve tubes are living. Okay, it is very clear to you people that sieve tubes are living, but sieve tubes are non-nucleated. Sieve tubes are living but non-nucleated. Human RBCs, mammalian RBCs, red blood corpuscles or erythrocytes are living but non-nucleated. Mammalian RBCs are living but non-nucleated. In plant, sieve tubes are living but again non-nucleated. They do not have their own nucleus. Okay, right. Then how the activities of sieve tubes are controlled? The activities of sieve tubes are controlled by the neighboring large companion cells. What are companion cells? Companion cells are the close interacting cells with the sieve tubes. Companion cells are the close interacting cells with sieve tubes and they have their own nucleus. The nucleus of companion cell controls the activities of sieve tubes. The nucleus of companion cell controls the activities of sieve tubes. Okay, fine. So then supporting cells of phloem are called as phloem sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are dead cells and the food is stored in the living component of the phloem. These are called as phloem parenchyma. Okay, fine. You already studied the structure of phloem, okay, in the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plants. Fine. Then sieve tubes towards the end are characterized by the presence of sieve plates. These are simply called as sieve plates. Okay. So sieve plates are responsible for the formation of channel of food, or sieve plates are useful for the formation of cytoplasmic strands. How they form cytoplasmic strand we will discuss later. Okay, right. Then whatever the food is synthesized in the leaves, leaves are called as source, and whatever the food is synthesized in the leaves, it is transported through the phloem. Okay, clear. So from the leaves the food is transported firstly in the companion cells. But friends, the transport of food in case of plant is mainly associated with transport of sucrose. Sucrose. Plant transports food in the form of sugar. The sugar is called as sucrose. Sucrose is a disaccharide. Sucrose is a disaccharide. It is made up of two simple sugars. Okay, right. In photosynthesis activity, plant prepares its food in the form of glucose. As a result of photosynthetic activity, plant synthesizes glucose, and the glucose, which is a monosaccharide, is converted into the most common disaccharide, that is sucrose, and the plants are responsible for the translocation of food or translocation of sugar, that is in the form of sucrose. So phloem, one more time, phloem transports, neat question, phloem transport A glucose, B fructose, C sucrose, D lactose. Sucrose is the most common sugar which is easily transported by the cells of phloem. Okay. So sucrose is loaded from the leaves firstly in the companion cells, and then from companion cells the flow of this food takes place in the sieve tubes, and the transport of sucrose from leaves to companion cells, and companion cells to sieve tubes requires energy. Hence, this kind of transport is certainly called as active transport. This kind of transport is called as active transport. Okay, fine. So, whenever sucrose enters in the sieve tubes, whenever sucrose enters in the sieve tube, the solution become, already we discussed in the initial part of the chapter, hypertonic. The solution becomes hypertonic. How the solution or sap present in the phloem become hypertonic? The sap of the phloem become hypertonic only after the movement of sucrose from the companion cell in the sieve tubes. Okay. So, the solution of or the material present in the sieve tubes certainly become hypertonic. Okay. Therefore, once the conditions of the sieve tubes become hypertonic, then water from the neighboring xylem strands, water from the neighboring xylem strands also enters in the sieve tubes. Water from the neighboring xylem strands also enters in the sieve tube. As a result, in the sieve tube, osmotic pressure develops. It develops osmotic pressure inside the sieve tubes. One more time, listen very carefully, important. Plant prepare sucrose, plant prepare glucose. Glucose is converted into disaccharide sucrose. Leaves are the source. The sucrose is transported via phloem. Sucrose is firstly loaded in the companion cells of phloem. From the companion cells, sucrose is poured in the sieve tube. The transfer of sucrose from companion cells to sieve tubes requires energy. Hence, it is an example of active transport. When sucrose enters inside the sieve tube, the solution become hypertonic. It become hypertonic. Okay, concentrated component material तयार झालं hypertonic. Because of this availability of hypertonic conditions in the sieve tubes, water from the neighboring xylem enters in the phloem sieve tubes as a result of certainly osmosis. We discussed that movement of water is simply called as osmosis. Once sucrose enters, one more time, in the sieve tubes, the solution of the sieve tube become, the sap become hypertonic. This builds osmotic pressure. This builds osmotic pressure in the sieve tube. Simultaneously, water from the neighboring xylem strands also starts moving fastly in the sieve tubes, which further increases osmotic pressure, and this osmotic pressure helps in the movement of sap from the sieve tubes. This osmotic pressure helps in the movement of sap through the sieve tubes. One more time, the osmotic pressure helps in the movement of sap through the sieve tubes from source towards the SINK, that is sink. These may be branches, roots, etc., where the transport of food takes place. For example, the food is transported towards the sink, that is root, due to osmotic pressure build up in the sieve tube strands. Okay, towards the source or in the source, osmotic pressure should be more. In the source, osmotic pressure should be more, or the region of the phloem where sugars are loaded, osmotic pressure should be more, while towards sink, osmotic pressure should be less. Osmotic pressure should be reduced at the sink region. येतं आहे का लक्षात? Osmotic pressure should be more where sugars are loaded in the phloem. Osmotic pressure should be reduced in the sink region. Okay, so in the sink, osmotic pressure should be less or it should be reduced. It helps in the transport of sap from the phloem to the all parts, that is sink region. Okay, sieve tubes helps in the transport. Sieve tubes helps in the transport. Sieve plates also helps in the transport. Sieve plates are responsible for the formation of cytoplasmic strands. Sieve plates are responsible for the formation of cytoplasmic strands, and through these cytoplasmic strands the transport of food takes place from sieve tubes towards the, from source towards the SINK, that is sink. Okay, fine. Right, and towards the sink osmotic pressure should be reduced. Clear? Whenever the food is delivered in the sink, when the food is delivered in the sink, exactly the reverse condition takes place. Opposite mechanism occurs. And now when the food is delivered in the sink region or in the root region, then osmotic pressure decreases. Osmotic pressure decreases. When osmotic pressure decreases? Osmotic pressure decreases when the food is transported in the sink region. As a result of decrease in osmotic pressure, water from the phloem starts moving in the xylem. Water, just opposite mechanism takes place. After delivering the sap in the sink, the water from the phloem moves in the xylem, and the food which is delivered in the source region, that is in the form of sucrose, is converted into different kinds of storage components, carbohydrates, that is starch, sugar, etc. Okay, clear? Now one more time. Phloem is made up of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and supporting phloem sclerenchyma. Food is prepared in the leaves. So leaves are the source. जे फूड लीव्समध्ये बनतं ते ग्लुकोजच्या स्वरूपात आहे, परंतु ज्या वेळेस ग्लुकोजच्या स्वरूपातलं फूड फ्लोएममध्ये लोड केलं जातं, तात्काळ त्याचं कन्व्हर्जन डायसॅकराइड सुक्रोजमध्ये केलं जातं. कारण फ्लोएम हा जो सॅप वाहून नेणारे फूड सॅप तो फक्त आणि फक्त सुक्रोजच्या स्वरूपातच वाहून नेतो. म्हणून हे जे फूड आहे त्याचं कन्व्हर्जन झालं सुक्रोज, ते पास केलं पहिल्यांदा कंपॅनियन सेल्समध्ये, कंपॅनियन सेल्समधून आलं सीव ट्यूब्समध्ये. पण ह्या ट्रान्सपोर्टला सुद्धा एनर्जी लागते, म्हणून ही फूडची ट्रान्सपोर्ट ॲक्टिव्ह प्रोसेस आहे. मीन व्हाईल सीव ट्यूब्स हे तुम्ही शिकलाय लिव्हिंग बट नॉन न्यूक्लिएटेड आहेत. सीव ट्यूबच्या एंडला सीव प्लेट्स असतात. सीव प्लेट्स तयार करतात सायटोप्लाझमिक स्ट्रँड्स. ज्या वेळेस फूड सीव ट्यूब्समध्ये येईल, सुक्रोज सीव ट्यूबमध्ये येईल. सुक्रोज का एकदा सीव ट्यूबमध्ये आलं की सीव ट्यूबमधल्या कंडिशन कशा झाल्या, हायपरटॉनिक झाल्या. एकदा का इथलचं कंडिशन हायपरटॉनिक झालं की ऑटोमॅटिक ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर वाढल. ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर वाढल. वाढलेल्या ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशरमुळे जे काही नेबरिंग झायलेम आहे त्या नेबरिंग झायलेममधनं वॉटर हे फ्लोएममध्ये येईल, सीव ट्यूबमध्ये यायला लागल. परिणामी आता सीव ट्यूबमध्ये एक प्रेशर तयार झालं. प्रेशर तयार झालं. हे प्रेशर ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर सोर्समध्ये जास्त पाहिजे, सिंकच्या तिथं रेड्यूस पाहिजे. त्या प्रेशरमुळं जे काही फूड आहे, सॅप आहे, ते इन ए मास इन ए मास मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये सीव ट्यूब्सपासून सीव प्लेट्सनी तयार केलेल्या सायटोप्लाझ्मिक स्ट्रँडच्या मदतीनं कुणाकडं पास झालं, सिंककडं, दॅट इज रूटकडं पास झालं. रूटमध्ये ते फूड सुक्रोजच्या स्वरूपात डिलिव्हर केलं फ्लोएमनी. परंतु ज्यावेळेस रूटमध्ये ते सुक्रोजच्या स्वरूपातलं फूड डिलिव्हर केलं जातं अशा वेळेस आता मात्र ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर कमी होईल आणि ऑस्मॉटिक प्रेशर कमी झालं की परिणाम उलटा होईल आणि आता फ्लोएममधून वॉटर कुठं जायला लागल, झायलेमकडं. फ्लोएममधून वॉटर कुठं जायला लागल, झायलेमकडं. आणि पुन्हा परिणाम याचा काय होईल, जस्ट अपोजिट रिव्हर्स होऊन जाईल. ओके. आणि जे काही फूड फ्लोएमनी सिंककडं दिलं ते सेल घेईल आणि ते सुक्रोजचं कन्व्हर्जन आयदर स्टार्च और डिफरंट काइंड्स स्टोरेज दॅट इज सेल्युलोज एक्सेट्रा कार्बोहायड्रेटमध्ये कन्व्हर्ट करेल ॲज ए कॉम्पोनंट ऑफ स्टोरेज कार्बोहायड्रेट. ओके. वन मोर टाइम इंग्लिशमध्ये. मी स्लो स्पीड कमी करतो, तुम्ही फुल फोकस माझ्याकडे ठेवा. लीव्ज आर सोर्स. In leaves food is synthesized. The region where food is synthesized is called as source. The region where food is transported is called as sink. From the leaves, food is transported in the form of disaccharide. The most common disaccharide which is transported is sucrose. Plant prepares its food in the form of glucose. Glucose is converted into sucrose. Sucrose from the leaves is poured firstly in the companion cells. Companion cells are close interacting cells with a sieve tube. Sieve tubes are living but non-nucleated. The nucleus of companion cells controls the activities of sieve tubes. The sucrose is transported from companion cells to sieve tubes by utilizing energy called active transport. When food enters in the sieve tubes, conditions become hypertonic. As a result, osmotic pressure increases. Water from the neighboring xylem starts entering in the sieve tubes. Further, it increases osmotic pressure. Pressure towards the source must be more. Towards the sink, it must be reduced. Osmotic pressure builds up in the sieve tube phloem. Sieve plates forms cytoplasmic strands. Water from the neighboring xylem starts moving inside the sieve tubes. And the food in a mass with the help of osmotic pressure is transported from source to the sink. Sink, for example, root. जिथं फूड ट्रान्सपोर्ट करायचं सिंक. Phloem delivers the food in the root cells. Osmotic pressure decreases. Water starts moving from the phloem now in the xylem, opposite, neighboring xylem. The cells of root receives the sucrose. They convert the sucrose into storage polysaccharide, that is starch or cellulose, etc. We will summarize the mass flow or pressure flow by simple chart. Okay, and we will draw one more figure. Okay, how exactly, what mechanism takes place? Leaves, these are source. Food synthesis. glucose. Glucose is converted into sucrose. Sucrose companion cells, sieve tubes. Active transport. Hypertonic condition. Osmotic pressure increases. Osmotic pressure increases. Water from xylem enters in phloem, sieve tubes, further increase in osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure helps in pressure flow or mass flow. Then phloem pours food in the sink. Phloem pours food in the sink. OP must be less, reduced. OP must be, osmotic pressure must be less. Osmotic pressure must be more. Cell receives sucrose. First, when OP is reduced, water from phloem enters in xylem. Water from phloem enters in xylem. Cell receives sucrose and stores it in the form of starch, cellulose, etc. Called as simply mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis. Simple, but it is important. They may ask you a question. One more time, leaves source synthesis of food. Leaves prepare food in the form of glucose. Glucose is converted into sucrose. Sucrose enters in the companion cells, active transport. From companion cells, it enters in the sieve tubes. Sieve tubes are living cells of phloem. When it increases in the sieve tube, hypertonic condition is developed. Osmotic pressure increases. Water from xylem enters in phloem, further increase in osmotic pressure. OP helps in pressure flow or mass flow. Phloem pours food in the sink. Osmotic pressure in the sink must be less reduced. When OP is reduced, water from the phloem enters in the neighboring xylem. Then cell receives sucrose and stores it in the form of starch or cellulose. In source, OP should be more. In sink, OP should be reduced. OP must be reduced. Okay, right. Clear it, friends? Fine. Then read number of times at your home. This will help to boost your confidence. Clear. Now one more simple figure of this mechanism. Mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis. This is important for NEET, SEET, etc. Very, very important. Okay. So now we will draw a simple figure. So friends, a simple figure. So one more time, we discussed खूपच important आहे. This is more important. Food flows from phloem in both the directional, that is bidirectional manner. Source is the region where food is synthesized. Sink is the region where food is transported. Source and seeds should be opposite to each other. In source, pressure should be more. Towards the sink, it should be less. Food is synthesized in the form of sugar, glucose as a result of photosynthetic activity. We just draw one simple chart. Glucose is converted into sucrose disaccharide. It is firstly poured in companion cells. Then in sieve tubes, hypertonic conditions, water enters from xylem to the sieve tubes of phloem. Pressure inside the phloem increases. This helps in pushing the sap in mass flow, pressure flow hypothesis from source to the sink region. Sieve plates form cytoplasmic strands. Then when food enters in the sink, opposite mechanism takes place, pressure decreases and water moves out of the phloem, that is in the neighboring xylem. Okay. Then the food from the phloem in the form of sucrose is transported to the cell, where it is converted into storage carbohydrate, starch, sugar, sucrose, cellulose, etc., starch, cellulose, etc. So simple figure associated with how exactly transport of materials takes place from source towards the sink. So source in the form of leaves or tip of the stem, and the sink in this example a root. Okay, we will start reading figure. Sugars leave sieve tube, from sieve tube water follows by osmosis. Sugars leave sieve tubes, okay, and water follows by osmosis, tip of the stem. Sugar solution flows to the regions of low turgor pressure. The cells here become turgid, they become fully swollen, and the sugar solution flows to the regions of low turgor pressure. In this example, turgor pressure is here more, and therefore the sugar solution starts moving from more turgor pressure towards the less. Okay. One more time, sugars leave sieve tubes, water follows by osmosis. Sugar solution flows to the regions of low turgor pressure. Here leaves मध्ये sugar enters sieve tubes, water follows by osmosis. Sugar enters sieve tubes, water follows by osmosis. Here high turgor pressure source. Then through these phloem strand sieve tubes, the food enters, the pressure flow develops, and this mass flow or pressure flow allow the movement of sugars from sieve tubes to the sink, that is towards root. Sugars leave sieve tubes for metabolism and storage. Water follows by osmosis. Sugars leave sieve tubes, enters inside the cell for metabolism, used by the cells of the root for their metabolic activities, as well as some sugar is stored in the form of starch or cellulose. Okay, fine. So you might have cleared the concept of mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis. Okay. One more time I will summarize. तुम्ही ऐकतायच इतक्या वेळेस की आता तुमचं क्लिअर झालंय, पाठ झाले पहा जवळपास. Mass flow hypothesis last time, source leaves sugar in the form of glucose converted into sucrose disaccharide. Sucrose enters in the companion cells of phloem. From companion active transport sieve tubes. Water from xylem enters in sieve tubes. Hypertonic condition in sieve tubes. Pressure is more in sieve tubes. Pressure flow develops. More pressure in the source, reduced towards the sink. The flow of material starts from source to the sink in a mass, like the water flows in river. In similar fashion, the flow of food starts from the phloem. Then sieve plates form cytoplasmic strands. Food is transported towards sink. Sink osmotic pressure less. But now food is transported in the sink, water from the phloem moves in the neighboring xylem. Food is used by the cell for its metabolism, or sucrose is stored in the form of starch or certainly cellulose. Okay, right. And one simple experiment which will complete the chapter transport in plants, that is a girdling experiment. What is girdling experiment? You might have performed in lower class. What is girdling experiment? It is useful to study the mass flow or pressure flow hypothesis, or how exactly phloem is responsible for the transport of food. Okay, right. So मी one more figure इथे simple draw करते, girdling experiment. Okay. So then here is stem. When you remove the bark sal of the stem up to phloem, when you remove the bark with some portion of the stem up to phloem, when you remove simply the phloem from this stem, here phloem tissue, and this portion is cut and removed with the help of knife, what will going to happen? After few days, after few weeks, you will observe that this portion the portion of the girdling experiment, the portion of the tip of the stem become much more swollen. You can easily notice after 1 or 2 weeks the swollen portion above the cut or wounded region of the stem, where from bark or phloem tissue is removed. You can easily notice much more swollen portion at the tip of the stem where from phloem is removed. Means the flow of food, the flow of sucrose is totally arrested because we removed the phloem tissue from the stem. That's why the tip become much more swollen, because the accumulation of food takes place. ज्यावेळेस आपण एक स्टेम घ्याल, प्लांट घेतलं, त्या प्लांटचं बार्कमधून फ्लोएमचा पोर्शन कट करून टाका. खात्री करा की आपण फ्लोएम काढून टाकली, रसवाहिनीच काढून टाकली. ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही इथं फ्लोएम काढून टाकाल, त्यानंतर 8-10 दिवसांनी 1-2 आठवड्यांनी तुम्ही जर पाहिलं तर तुम्हाला ह्या फ्लोएमचा वरचा पोर्शन सुजलेला दिसेल. फ्रेंड्स, तो का सुजलेला दिसेल? कारण ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही फ्लोएम काढून टाकता त्यावेळेस फूडचं ट्रान्सपोर्ट डाऊन साईड होणार नाही आहे. फूडची मूव्हमेंट टोटली ब्लॉक झाली आणि म्हणून जिथून फ्लोएम तुम्ही काढली त्याचा वरचा पोर्शन तुम्हाला सुजलेला दिसतो. याचाच अर्थ असा की फ्लोएम हा ट्रान्सपोर्टसाठी खूप इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. वन मोर टाइम, this experiment is called as girdling experiment. When you remove the phloem tissue along with the bark of the stem, when phloem is totally removed, when you observe the plant after 1 or 2 weeks, you can easily notice that the region from where phloem is removed, the tip portion, the portion slightly above to this wounded region is much more swollen because of absence of phloem, because of broken phloem, because of interrupted phloem. The flow of materials, sucrose or sap will not take place from the stem. That's why the saturation of food takes place above the removed portion of the bark. This indicates that phloem is responsible for translocation of food. ज्यावेळेस स्टेमचा फ्लोएमचा पोर्शन तुम्ही रिमूव्ह कराल आणि 1-2 आठवड्यांनी ते प्लांट पुन्हा पाहिलं, तुम्हाला असं दिसेल की जिथून तुम्ही पोर्शन फ्लोएमचा रिमूव्ह केला त्याच्यावरती ते स्टेमचा काही भाग सुजलेला दिसेल. याचाच अर्थ असा की खाली होणारी डाऊन स्ट्रीम मूव्हमेंट जी आहे फूडची ती टोटली अरेस्ट झाली आणि याचाच मिनिंग होतं की फ्लोएम हा ट्रान्सपोर्टसाठी फूडची मदत करतो. दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट इज कॉल्ड ॲज गर्डलिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट. लास्टली, गर्डलिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट इज बेस्ट टू स्टडी the importance of phloem in the translocation of food. When you remove carefully the bark and some portion of the phloem from the woody tree, and in the absence of this phloem, after 1 or 2 weeks, if you notice the stem, you can easily observe that the region from where phloem is removed slightly towards the tip or slightly towards its above portion shows enlarged or it becomes much more swollen. The region from where phloem is removed slightly above the swollen portion of the swollen outgrowth of the stem can be easily noticed. Means in the absence of phloem, the downward movement of the food is totally arrested, and that's why the tip portion become much more enlarged. This confirms that phloem helps in the translocation of food and all about the chapter transport in water. Okay. So hope you clear the concept associated with the same. Read at your home number of times. See all the lectures on the same chapter. Okay. Then solve some questions from different kinds of objectives. Okay. So great day, good day. Thank you.